I find it extraordinarily shocking that when it came to Gyanvapi Mosque, when an application was moved for dismissal of the suit which was filed on behalf of the minority community, which was rejected by the trial court and high court, Justice Chandrachud doesn't go into it because application was that this suit is not maintainable per se. And Justice Chandrachud allowed the proceedings to go on, allowed the ASI proceedings to go on. It was really, I would say, most shocking defiance of his own judgment by Justice Chandrachud. Now that has opened a Pandora's box. Had he said that day that nothing doing, no more such proceedings can lie, which is the law, no more proceedings will be entertained, and we hereby command that no court in India shall entertain such proceedings, then Chandrachud would have done a great service to this nation. But clearly he was not willing to do that because he was playing in the hands of the politicians for oblique reasons. And that's what really shocks me, that a man who otherwise claims to be a larger than life image across the globe goes on giving lecture on secularism, on rule of law. He is now party to complete breakdown of rule of law in this country.
Let me, for the sake of the audience, clarify precisely what it is that Justice Chandrachud said in May 2022, which you believe has opened a Pandora's box. I believe his words were, the ascertainment of the religious character of the place of worship is not expressly barred. He claimed that what is barred is changing the character of a place of worship after 15th August 1947. That is barred, but ascertaining what the character is, he claimed was not barred. Very quickly, am I right in saying that it was this so-called interpretation that he gave the act that has opened the Pandora's box?
It is unfortunate that he gave that interpretation. Being quite intelligent and claiming himself to be an intellectual, he should be the last person to interpret like that. Because if you cannot change a character of a place, what's the point of ascertaining what the character is? Therefore, there was a complete prohibition, complete status quo in respect of all places of religious worship. Now, these are semantics. I'm sure Justice Chandrachud knew what is the purport of the act. Ultimately, the idea was to bring peace and prosperity and communal harmony in this country.
Absolutely.
And therefore, he could not have made this kind of I would say, stretched interpretation, and which was clearly not borne out on the face of it by the language of the act as interpreted by Justice Chandrachud and his 4 colleagues who have all now benefited from the government who decided the Ayodhya judgment.
Let me put it like this to you. Even if the interpretation that Justice Chandrachud came up with, and I'll repeat it, that although you cannot change the character of a religious place after 15th August 1947, you can ascertain and determine what that character is. Even if that doesn't strictly breach the letter of the Places of Worship Act, doesn't it undermine the spirit of that act? Very seriously and comprehensively undermine the spirit of the act.
No, I would go to the extent of saying that it really is in teeth of the letter of the act. It also is violative of the spirit of the act, because the act is enacted to prohibit conversion of any place of worship as it existed on 15th August 1947. Now, if there is a prohibition, where is the question of ascertaining the character? Are you doing an academic exercise as Supreme Court in a most sensitive, communally sensitive issue? Now, is Judiciary not responsible for the deaths of these 4 innocent people in Sambal? What are we are discussing here? People are losing their lives. The 2 communities are being divided permanently. And, these wounds are virtually impossible to heal, especially when the Bharatiya Janata Party is in power in these states where this is happening, be it Rajasthan or Uttar Pradesh. So I think that Chandrachud has done a great disservice to the Constitution and to this country.
I want to get you to repeat that. Justice Chandrachud has done a great disservice to the Constitution and to the people of this country. You seriously mean that?
I not only mean that, but I feel that if Supreme Court, and it has been held by Supreme Court time and again, is bound by its own judgments, day in and day out, this Supreme Court will haul up citizens bureaucrats and politicians for contempt of its orders. What has Chandrachud done? Is he not guilty of, he and his colleagues are not guilty of defying Supreme Court's judgment? He and his colleagues, are they not responsible for breaking down of the rule of law? Because they have noted in that judgment that the demolition of the mosque in 1992 was the most egregious act on the part of these in connivance with the state, especially after giving undertaking to the Supreme Court by the Bharatiya Janata Party Chief Minister Mr. Kalyan Singh. And he said this was the absolute breakdown of rule of law. Judges say that expressly. Now, he was a party to it. How can therefore he allow this thing to go on?
So he is guilty of contempt of court himself.
Look, nobody has ever tested this proposition whether judges can be guilty of their own judgment of in contempt. But certainly is guilty of defying and defiling his own judgment. Look, as a poet very beautifully says in these lines, ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे जहां में नफरत क्यों है, जंग है क्यों, तेरा दिल तो इतना बड़ा है, इंसान का दिल तंग है क्यों. Today, unfortunately, we are creating a divide. You come to Gujarat, Karan, it brings tears in my eyes that the two communities are polarized beyond repair. The Muslims cannot live side by side with Hindus in any area, nor can Hindus live side by side with Muslims in any area virtually. Okay. So you are creating two areas, and in Ahmedabad, the area which is predominantly dominated by the minority community, Juhapura, large number of my friends in Ahmedabad call it Pakistan. Now, is this what our freedom fighters fought for freedom? They all laid their lives. Thousands of Indians laid their lives to gain us the freedom. Partition has happened. Those Muslims who wanted to go to Pakistan have gone. But those who decided to stay back have placed their future in the hands of us, the majority. It is for us now to ensure that we make them feel welcome. After 77 years, are we going to now talk about what happened 600-700 years ago? If there was Babur and Aurangzeb, there was also Akbar, who treated everybody. I mean, take for example, Govardhan Parvat. I remember this story which Supreme Court has quoted, where, the Srinathji Bhagwan's deity was there. He exempted Govardhan. He first gave their, right to that land to, I forget the name, Mahaprabhuji. And then he exempted from tax.
Absolutely.
So you can't, you can't just, ye gade murdo ko ukhadna. It is really not good for us. Thousands of, let me tell you one thing, in fairness to the minority community, and this is what the nation must hear, they have still kept their faith in us and the Constitution. Thousands of suicide bombings have taken place in Islamic world, including Pakistan. There has been only one suicide bombing in India, Pulwama. Now, just imagine, we don't want this kind of a situation to go beyond. We have a lot of work to do. We have to, take care of 140 crore people. We need to create job. We need to uplift the poor from poverty. We need education. We need good health. We need peace. We need harmony. We need prosperity. All this vanished will, Karan, I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing. I have sleepless nights thinking about it. My wife tells me every day, why are you getting so involved? But I am involved because I am worried about my country. I am worried about my lovely. You don't know how much it is impacting me. Just imagine how much it must be affecting those belonging to the minority community. It's really sad what is happening, and I don't know why nobody in this country wants to stand up and fight this kind of nonsense.
Dushyant Dave, I thank you for this very, very powerful interview. The emotion in your voice, the tears in your eyes speak volumes.
Sorry.
Also, thank you. No, don't apologize. It was your heart that was speaking. Your heart will reach out to the audience. Your heart will make a point that goes well beyond your passion and your anger. But I want to repeat for the audience some of the important things you said about Justice Chandrachud. You said he was guilty of defying and breaching his own judgment in 2019. You accused him of intellectual dishonesty. You said he has played in the hands of somebody, making it clear that somebody is the BJP and the government. And his ruling of May 2022, you said, could set this country on fire. For your
I haven't,
honesty,
I haven't said that BJP and government he played in hands. I have said he played in hands of somebody. I don't know who.
thank you very much for your words, for your passion, for your emotion. Take care. Stay safe.
Let us pray that ultimately wisdom prevails on those in power, those in judiciary, and the citizens, and we can all put an end to this. We don't want to become another Pakistan or Bangladesh. We want this India to be Bharat, a nation which has really nurtured long heritage culture of religious tolerance, produced some of the finest religions like Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and we welcomed Zoroastrianism. So we should not be worried about these kind of issues.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. Take care. Stay safe.
Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch The Interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me.